Yeah, the folks got a new knife for you. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me posting pics and vids of the Menovade Rift. So I figure I'll bang out a vid for you guys to get some well-deserved macros for this one-off custom handmade knife, completely handmade knife by Nick Menovade. Rift stands for Rotating Integrated Flipper Tab, which you will see here. He put this wheel thing on the tab here. He split the tab and inserted like this wheel, which actually makes it flip out nicely. The blade steel is Chad Nichols Damascus. It's a scrambled pattern. Let's go over this really slow. You can see how intricate the beautiful pattern is on that blade with a light etch on it. Show you guys the other side. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful Damascus steel. And you can see Nick put this very interesting swedge, and on the swedge he added these titanium, I don't know what you would call that, additions. Just gives the blade a little more character. Definitely very unique. It's got a little jimping on the back of the blade. And the star of the knife is actually the intricate titanium parts on the handles. It is a frame lock. And it's just got a lot of wow. I mean, you just got, I still haven't checked out the whole knife. And maybe once I watch this vid, I'll see more parts to it. It's just incredibly complicated, the different parts that Nick has added to this handle. This is the lock side, and all the parts are titanium. Nick will be adding a backspacer if you guys are watching Wieners and Steel, so he will be replacing these standoffs with a titanium backspacer. Who knows what that's going to look like. I'm sure it's going to match the intricacies of this the handle sides. And I mean, he just adds jimping like where he thinks that you will need it, maybe perhaps when you're gripping the knife or pulling it out of your pocket, on the pocket clip. Look how thin he milled out that titanium. I mean, that's like wire thin. And you can see the interior, almost like a like a watch, right, with the exposed gears. Some may even say it's steampunk influenced. Every part is milled out by Nick by hand, and it's just very well done, very smooth. There are no sharp edges. Really no, with all these parts, there are really no hot spots at all. This is a smaller knife. Overall length is 5.75 inches. The blade steel is 2.25 inches. Now, you guys can see in the background, these are some of the knives and monkeys that I own from my good friend Menovade. Nick, I am a fan. I was a fan before he was a wiener. It was just very fortunate that we were very close to each other. When I ordered my first custom scales from Nick, I realized he was just on the other side of the river in Jersey. Nick, if you guys don't know, is actually responsible for bringing the wieners together. Yeah, he is. There'd be no Wieners and Steel without Menovade. If you guys are fans of Menovade, you know and follow. If you follow him on Instagram, you know he just had a successful auction on one of his stubs. Now this knife, he does have plans to make these this fall. If you guys are interested, I would definitely hit up Nick. I'll put the info below. I don't know what he's gonna do. He said he wants to sell this knife. He'll probably do an auction on this knife. If any of you guys are interested in it, look for that. Just follow him on Instagram. He basically does everything on Instagram. How convenient is that for Instagram? Show you the action. Oh, I like how he also makes the lock bar protrude here. Easier for you to unlock. There is no stick. That's not my music. That's just sounds of the city. And it just flies out. I mean, it's nice, positive. You can push button it. You can light switch it. But I think the best way to do it is just to push button the flipper tab. He's also done this flipper, this Rift flipper, this rotating integrated flipper tab on the holdbacks that Jake Hoback sent him that he's working on. Look for those. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with those knives. Once he's finished, I would imagine they're going to have an auction for those with Nick and Jake. But this is seriously impressive. I've had the knife. I've held this a few times in Wieners of Steel, but I asked Nick if I can do a vid on it, and I really don't want to give it back. I just want to hold on to it. You know, it's been a week. And I'm hoping we don't do Wieners and Steel for like another month so I can keep playing with this knife. It's just so cool. I mean, it's just so cool. If you guys don't know, and if you guys haven't watched Wieners and Steel, a little inside on the workings of the Menovade knife maker. The man is very meticulous. I say meticulous to stress. He's very meticulous in his workings. He studies it. And if you guys are fans of Wieners Steel, you know Nick doesn't say much when he's examining a knife because it's all happening inside his brain. He does. It's probably too complicated for us to understand anyway. For me, not you guys, but for the Wieners. So he just keeps it to himself. But I've seen him work. I've seen him work on scales, on knives, and he is a perfectionist. He's probably got a little bit of what's that? Not ADD, but OCD. He wants his knives to be perfect. And if you guys own the stubs or have checked out this knife, which he carried around blade, you'll see that he is a perfectionist. I mean, he just wants to make sure. He wants to make sure. He's probably not even still done with this. There's still more he wants to do to this thing. But he wants it to be as perfect as possible. Let me do a little size comparison for you guys, so you guys get an idea. Here's my DPX knife. So it's basically the same size. So if you guys own this, now you know what the Rift will feel like, size-wise anyway. Perfectly centered. I want to show you that blade backing, the swedge. He did this also with the whole back quay back that he has. He kind of like put this arrowhead tip on the back of the blade. I hope I held it still enough for you guys so you guys can appreciate how beautiful the work of this Rift is. Hopefully it's close enough. Let me show you guys the wheel here, the flipper tab. Look how intricate that is. To get that in there, to measure that. That's just too much math for me. And it does rotate, folks. All right. So that's the Menovade Rift. Look for it on Instagram. All right, guys. Peace.